Hi, this is Dr. Joanny Liu, and welcome to Rapid Injury Facebook Live. And this is Dr. Joanny Liu. Welcome. And this week I'm going to be talking about how to heal your hairline fracture. It's really quite common. First, I'd like you to share this with your friends, and before you go today, and even while you're watching, please like Rapid Injury Recovery with Chinese sports psychology. I'd really appreciate that, and send me your comments, and I will always answer your comments and your questions inside Facebook. So I'm just waiting a little bit for people to jump on. Okay, so again, today's topic is about hairline fractures. Hairline fractures are little breaks in the bone, okay? They're so thin that you can barely see them in an x-ray. So that's why they're called hairline. They're also called stress fractures. And they often happen in the foot, mostly in a few skinny bones in the foot. And they're pretty painful. So what I want to talk about is some of the treatments that you can do today in order to actually heal them a lot faster. Because in conventional medicine, in conventional sports medicine, what they will tell you to do is RICE, okay, which is rest, ice, compression, and elevation. So there's not a whole lot of action going on there as usual, and so oftentimes when people are going through this sort of strategy with healing their hairline fractures, they actually don't heal very fast, and they continue to be very painful for quite a long time, much longer than any athlete or even an ordinary person would like. Okay, my youngest son when he was in track and field, he had a friend who had a hairline fracture. Took a very long time to heal, if it ever did, and eventually he dropped out of the sport. My oldest son had one, and luckily I knew how to treat it. It was kind of funny because we were going away on a trip, so I had to bring my supplies with me so that I could treat him while we were we were at a family wedding. So this was about 15 years ago. So, as I said, hairline fractures are commonly found afoot, and so you also have to think about some of the underlying things that make that bone weak, okay? Because nothing is ever an accident, so you have to consider whenever you cannot walk, whenever you are prevented from walking because of pain or an injury, you have to ask yourself, what is it that I'm not doing, or what is it that I'm not moving forward towards? What is it that I'm afraid to move towards? What is it that I'm afraid to make a change? Okay? So we always have to look at that psychological, emotional state as well. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you what this treatment is all about, because I'm going to I'm going to say an ancient Chinese secret. So this is what we have. It's called Jangu shui. Okay, so I'm going to show you the box right there. Okay, it's a bit shiny, but it's Jangu shui. And it literally means knit bone water. Knit bone water. So that's very important. So this is what the bottle looks like. Okay, so it's going to be a very dark brown liquid. Now this liquid actually has a very hot sensation to it. Now if you're a very warm person, you probably won't feel it, but if you're a person who feels cold often, you're going to feel it. And the thing is, it's very strong, okay? This stuff is very strong, so it could actually burn the skin if it's sensitive enough. But the reason why, but it's hot in order to regenerate bone, okay? So it increases circulation to an injured area, and it also helps to regenerate bone. So that's why it's called bone or knit bone water. So this is very good for broken bones of any sort. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind because this stuff totally works well. So what you can do is you apply it. So I got a cotton ball here. I'm going to apply it. And I'm just going to use my arm as an example, okay? So you can soak it for several minutes, soak it. And you can use a Band-Aid to put over it, okay? Or you can use something like this, which is a cotton pad. Soak that too. Again, okay? Soak that for a while. Put that on. And again, you can apply that with 1 or 2 Band-Aids, okay? Now, it's also recommended to use something like Saran Wrap to wrap around the injury, okay? With this underneath it, okay? So this and Saran Wrap over it. Now, don't wrap it too tight, okay? Now, because it's so hot, what I want you to do is to actually test the spot on your skin to see how sensitive it is. Because then that will determine just exactly how you're going to treat that hairline fracture. Okay, so again, we're talking about how to heal your hairline fracture today. So you can also use gauze. Okay, you soak that in the Jangu shui. So cotton ball, cotton pad, cotton ball, or a piece of gauze, and you use plastic wrap to wrap around it, and then you leave it on for 20 minutes to 30 minutes, okay? So if your skin isn't too sensitive, that's a good way of doing it, and of course you rest and elevate that area. Since it's on the foot, it's usually a good idea to actually elevate, okay? Now, if you do find that your skin is more sensitive, then you can still do this, but you do it for a shorter time, and you might do it for twice a day for a shorter time, or you might dab around it, you know, a few times a day, okay? But the thing is that this liniment will help you. The thing is that, again, you are taking action. You're not just sitting there and waiting. And of course, do not use ice, okay? Because this is the very opposite, because it's so warming and it increases circulation. Whereas if you use ice, what you're doing is you're shutting down circulation and therefore shutting down the healing process. So do not ice. Yes, rest when you can. But the thing is that your leg, your foot also needs to know that you need it, okay? All right, so thanks for tuning in. This is Dr. Joanny Liu. Please like my page, Rapid Injury Recovery. And if you need help right away, if you need assistance right away, then go to my main website, www.drjoanny.com, drjoanny.com. And look in the top navigation menu for Get Back in the Game and schedule yourself into an initial consultation with me. So that's 20 minutes. And follow the directions that are on that page, okay? If you know anybody with concussion or who's currently suffering from post-concussion syndrome, help is just a book away. Go to Amazon and download my best-selling book, Heal Your Concussion, How to Quickly and Effectively Get Back in the Game. Okay, so until next week, take care and heal that hairline fracture quickly and effectively. Bye.